I'm going to ask Lori Sowers, who's the chair of the planning committee, to come up, and she's going to walk you through the little packet of materials that we gave you this morning.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. The packet has a lot of documents that are directly related to accreditation. They will be more or less useful to you depending on kind of where you are, but we wanted to give you a lot of information that you can take back and refer to. So the top page, or 2 or 3, is a resource guide that was apparently produced by Elizabeth's office. It's got lots of information about course level, program level, institution level assessment, lots of information, refers specifically to some of the standards, and then provides a lot of places to go for more information. So just for your reference, save it, and are you going to send all these out also?
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll have the hot links. The next page, Elizabeth and I were just talking about it, it's House Bill 2998, which is going to be one of the things talked about this afternoon. And Elizabeth pointed out to me that this is not the full version. This was a preliminary version. We didn't have time to go through all the handouts before this packet was put together. But it gives you an idea of the flavor of House Bill 2998. And she can talk about it in a little more detail this afternoon.
Too many things in your hand?
Just another hand, yeah. And then there are more documents that are related to accreditation. Craig sent these along even though he couldn't be here with us today. There's a page, there's a table called Institutional Conditions to be Met for Mid-Cycle Evaluations. And my impression with that is just it's sort of a guideline when peer evaluators go to an institution. So it gives us an idea of how we're being evaluated. Always a good thing to do when you're evaluating your students is to know, to tell them how they're going to be evaluated. So that's very helpful, I think. And then the next several rubrics are from the accreditation agency, and they came out of a workshop that happened last year, which I wasn't at, but I had seen these drafts of the rubrics, and I was trying to track down the official versions, maybe on a link from their website. And so I connected with somebody at the accrediting agency, and she said, I will send them to you, but they are merely suggestions. They are not official documents that have to be followed. So we pass those on to you in that spirit. I have found them very helpful in thinking about assessment planning and just looking at that highly developed column for assessment plan and progress on that first page. And then the others just refer specifically to specific standards and a rubric for those specific standards. So again, just guidelines that can really assist in focus, I think, for developing assessment plans. And I think that's, the last one is, not even sure what that is. I think that came from Craig also, or maybe Elizabeth. Standard 2, resources and capacity, evidence of compliance. Required but not limited to the following. Yeah, I'm not planning to talk about this one today. But it's a very comprehensive list of what's in Standard 2. So most of this we're not going to look at in any detail today. It's just there for your reference. Oh, yes. And the final thing is a card that we got from the Association for the Assessment of Learning in Higher Education. It's our professional organization for assessment. How many of you are members of this organization? I recommend it. It's a tremendous resource. There is also a listserv that you can join, even if you're not a member, and it's a incredibly prolific listserv. I finally had to create a rule and put in a separate folder because there are lots of conversations all the time going on around assessment. And you can find out about it if you go to this website, I believe. It's run out of, I think it's the University of Kentucky, just manages the listserv. But that's a resource for you. And there is a conference coming up in Salt Lake City in June. So I encourage you to just take a look at the website. There are some resources that are, even if you're not a member, you can look at the information that's there. They sent this on to us because they're trying to promote greater membership for this organization in the West. So that's us. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it was really good timing. I got an email from that group, and they were talking about, gosh, is there any kind of assessment kind of convening that you're doing in Oregon that we maybe could send a flyer to? And I was like, well, absolutely. Sure is. It's coming up. So that was very timely, and that is the reason. They are trying to increase their membership in the Pacific Northwest. So I encourage you to check them out and to get on that listserv. And I love how political we are. Prolific. Not like I'm getting bombarded. It's prolific. And we appreciate. This is all like, I feel like I'm in the Capitol. This is crazy.